Recon Orientation and Training Program. All workers at Recon Inspection Limited shall receive a company induction meeting with management and a documented orientation prior to commencing operations in any role. The orientation portion is to be repeated every 3 years or as needed. Technicians should understand the latest codes, policies, rules, regulations, and procedures. Orientation goals. Managers, supervisors, workers, and contractors are expected to operate following the principles provided in this training. These expectations are to be shared throughout all operating sites to all Recon technicians. This program must be used in conjunction with all relevant and current documents, policies, and procedures. Safety policy. Management, supervisors, employees, visitors, and customers must all comply with applicable occupational health and safety legislation and safety program requirements on any location where Recon is primarily responsible for health and safety. On locations where the customer retains primary health and safety responsibility, our employees will comply with the customer's safety program requirements. If employees feel that doing so would place them in danger, they must refuse the work and contact their immediate supervisor. Health and safety principles. 1. Informing employees of the written health and safety policies in the manual. 2. Commitment to controlling health hazards to the greatest extent possible. 3. Utilize the health and safety program to find and eliminate unsafe working conditions. 4. Comply fully with the health and safety regulatory requirements on every job. 5. Developing and enforcing health and safety rules and requiring that employees cooperate with these rules as a condition of employment. Workers' rights. The 3 fundamental rights of workers are: 1. The right to know. Workers have the right to be informed about the hazards in their workplace and how to protect themselves. This includes knowing about chemicals, machinery, and safety procedures. 2. The right to participate. Workers have the right to participate in workplace health and safety activities, such as safety committees or workplace inspections, and raise concerns about safety without fear of reprisal. 3. The right to refuse unsafe work. Workers have the right to refuse work that they believe is dangerous to their health or safety or that of others. This right protects employees from being forced to perform hazardous tasks. Recon Inspection Limited is responsible for coordination and general supervision of all Recon activities at the worksite, including activities carried out by contractors, subcontractors, and suppliers. While all parties have a responsibility to promote worker safety, Recon recognizes its leadership role in promoting worker health and safety on the basis that it has the greatest power to influence worksite situations. Recon will promote methods and practices that have the potential for improving safety performance. Activities will be conducted on the basis that safety of all personnel is of vital importance. The process of selecting managers, supervisors, technicians, contractors, subcontractors, and suppliers, and the administration of contracts will include recognition and support of exemplary safety performance. Individual roles and responsibilities. Employee responsibilities. Follow Recon Inspection safety policies, procedures, and rules. Refuse unsafe work and report unsafe conditions to supervisors. Use PPE and follow safety training. Report all incidents and near misses to supervisors. And ensure personal and coworker safety at all times. Supervisor responsibilities. Enforce safety policies and ensure compliance with legislation. Provide PPE and maintain safe work areas. Investigate all incidents and ensure corrective actions are taken. Educate employees on safe work practices and ensure fitness for duty. Management responsibilities. Maintain and update the safety program and policy. Provide a safe workplace, necessary resources, and training. Ensure compliance with health and safety laws. Monitor safety performance of all projects and employees. Rules and regulations. Rules and regulations are an integral part of our safety program, and when used effectively, they will contribute to the overall success of our program. Rules are basic shall or shall not statements. They leave no room for discretion or argument. Rules should be enforced. Action should be taken every time a rule is violated, and not only when some loss occurs because of the violation of rules. A rule is a directive that governs and controls conduct or action, and that is instituted by an organization. A regulation is an ordinance, law, or a directive set by an outside organization or agency, such as government, for control of people and their environment. A guideline is just an industry best practice. Recon is committed to a health and safety program based on industry best practices. Success requires cooperation from management, supervisors, and employees. Key elements are training for all employees in health and safety practices and procedures, providing necessary personal protective equipment and instruction for its use, care, and maintenance, investigating every incident, including injuries, illnesses, property damage, and near misses promptly and thoroughly, outlining expectations of staff, contractors, and subcontractors, and system committed to improvement over time from worker input. Recon Cardinal Rules. Rule 1. All work shall be carried out in accordance with safe work practices and in compliance with applicable Occupational Health and Safety Act, regulation, and code. Rule 2. PPE appropriate to the task being performed shall always be utilized. Rule 3. Good housekeeping must be maintained in your work area. Rule 4. Vehicles must be operated within applicable laws and corporate requirements. Rule 5. Tools of any kind shall not be used for any other purpose than what was intended by the manufacturer. Rule 6. Theft, vandalism, or any other abuse or misuse of company property is prohibited. Rule 7. Horseplay, fighting, gambling, and possession of firearms are strictly forbidden on the job. Rule 8. Possession or use on the job of intoxicating beverages or unauthorized drugs is strictly forbidden. Rule 9. All company policies and hazard control methods must be always followed. Rule 10. Harassment will not be tolerated. Hazard Assessment Policy. Recon inspection will ensure all those affected by a specific work activity or project are involved in the development and/or review of hazard assessments. If the hazard cannot be eliminated or controlled using engineering, administrative, or personal protective equipment, Recon will use a combination of engineering controls, administrative controls, and/or PPE, creating a greater level of worker security because a combination is used. Hazard assessments are essential for maintaining a safe and productive workplace. They help optimize employees' abilities, equipment, and materials while protecting everyone from harm. Both employees and management benefit from these assessments. Recon will provide hazard assessment training and ensure all workers are involved in identifying and addressing hazards. Hazard control assessments must be done when a new work process is introduced, before the construction of significant additions or alterations to a work site, when a work process or operation changes, and they must be reviewed annually by all affected workers if no changes have occurred. Good practices to avoid creating workplace hazards. Prior to starting work, take a few moments to evaluate the work area and work activity for potential hazards. Repeat this process every hour. Example, stop, look around, assess, and control accordingly. Maintain good housekeeping standards. Inspect tools and equipment prior to use. Maintain protective equipment in good, clean condition. Follow established procedures, not taking any shortcuts. Report hazards and incidents as soon as possible. This could prevent a serious accident. Safe work practices are a set of positive guidelines or do's and don'ts on how to perform a specific task that may not always be done in a certain way. Safe work practices control hazards with a minimum risk to people and property. Safe work practices will be written, related to the scope of work, understood and followed by all workers and management. Whenever an incident occurs, the practice relating to that job should be thoroughly reviewed by the workers and supervisor to ensure the practice meets the requirements of the job and current regulations. All safe work permit systems will be different depending on the prime contractor. Each site-specific system must be followed. Safe work permit systems are designed to prevent fatalities, injuries, losses due to fire and explosion, and damage to buildings and plant equipment. It is intended to ensure that all safety precautions are taken by personnel engaged in normal maintenance work or working in hazardous areas. This includes work being done in atmospheres that are toxic, explosive, corrosive, or lacking in oxygen, working in extreme temperatures, confined spaces, working with high voltage electrical power, acids, dangerous chemicals, or highly combustible materials. Safe work permits shall be signed, dated, and renewed as required, with the SWP being mandatory to perform all work with a higher than low risk ranking. Recon inspection will ensure that all safety-related safety documents are readily available. These include safety orientation forms, safety meetings, reports of formal inspections, accident incident investigation reports, medical treatment reports, and hazard assessments. Summaries of safety-related reports provide management with an overview of their program's activities and results. Examining summaries will help in determining trends and setting priorities for future safety program measures. Summary reports shall be compiled for monthly injury, year-end injury, and yearly safety. Health and safety statistics will be communicated to all those employed by Recon Inspection, including employees and contractors. Methods used to communicate health and safety statistics include tailgate meetings, monthly safety meetings, and email. From the summaries, statistics can be calculated for the injury frequency rate and injury severity rate. Employee-related safety records will be maintained in each employee's personnel file by the office staff. These records are kept in a secure location. Use communication devices to inform employees and supervisors of where you are throughout the workday, if you are not in the same location scheduled, so they are able to contact you in case of emergency. If using communication devices while traveling, pull off the road to a safe area to have a conversation. Tools and equipment required: cellular phones and radios. PPE, as appropriate for the conditions in which you will be using the communications device, determined through hazard assessment process. Potential accidents or hazards. Concentration can be impaired if communicated while driving. Unfamiliarity with communications device can distract a driver's attention. Recon ensures all employees are properly trained to perform tasks safely. Job titles will have defined qualification requirements and employees must meet them. Training will be documented and retained. Competency means being adequately qualified, trained, and experienced to work safely with minimal supervision. New or transferred workers will be supervised by a senior employee until their competency is verified. Employees will receive safety orientations, task-specific training, certifications, and regular refresher courses. Monthly safety meetings are mandatory. Supervisors ensure safe operations across all tasks and seek guidance when needed. Job-specific training is provided at hiring, when assigned new work, or when moving to a new site. Supervisors review safety practices, highlight hazards, and provide necessary job information. Direct supervision continues until competency is verified, with training records maintained. Job-specific training ensures that the employee understands the job and has the knowledge to do it in a competent manner. Job-specific training should occur at the time of hire, when an employee is assigned to a new or different work area, or when an employee is moved to a new work site. In every case, the approach is the same. Job-specific training should be conducted by the employee's supervisor. The supervisor should review safe work practices and job procedures, bring their attention to all known safety hazards specific to the job site, provide all necessary information for the employee to do the job safely and correctly, provide direct supervision until the new employee understands the job and can do it in a competent manner, complete on-the-job training record to document employee competency. All personnel will be trained in the selection, use, and care of PPE. All PPE will be kept in good condition and maintained according to the manufacturer's specifications. PPE used must conform to CSA and/or ANSI standards. Information gathered from the JHA, applicable legislation, and the experience of management and workers will help you in your selection of appropriate PPE for your operation. In cases of special problems, such as chemical handling or working at heights, you may wish to call an outside expert to assist in the selection of PPE. The safety information in this policy does not take precedence over applicable government legislation, with which all employees should be familiar. If you are not sure about which PPE is appropriate, ask your supervisor. Basic personal protective equipment that is required to be worn includes CSA-approved hard hat, CSA-approved safety footwear, safety eyewear, hearing protection, gloves, and appropriate clothing, example fire retardant or high-vis. Specialized PPE will be required to be worn for the specific job or hazard identified. This may include, but not limited to, high-visibility vest, flame-proof coveralls, respiratory equipment, and PPE for exposed skin hazards. It is the policy of Recon Inspection to maintain all tools and equipment in a condition that will maximize the safety of all personnel. The purpose of this program is to ensure all equipment used at Recon Inspection be in good working order and in compliance with manufacturers' recommendations and applicable legislation. Overall, the program will protect the health and safety of Recon Inspection employees and the public. To accomplish this, a maintenance program shall be maintained and shall include the following components: adherence to applicable regulations, standards, and manufacturer specifications, services of appropriately qualified maintenance personnel, scheduling and documentation of all maintenance work, removal and/or lockout of unsafe or inadequate equipment or vehicles. Recon follows occupational health and safety regulations,
fire prevention standards, and manufacturer specifications. Inspections, training, and monitoring are key to our program. Equipment and tools must be inspected before each use, with inspections recorded. Operators are trained in responsibilities, operating procedures, and safe use. Ongoing monitoring by both operators and management ensures compliance and proper functioning.
Our health and safety policy aims to prevent losses of human and material resources by identifying and correcting unsafe acts and conditions. Regular inspections are crucial for monitoring worksite conditions, ensuring compliance with company safety standards and regulatory requirements. Inspections help identify unsafe acts or conditions before they become problematic, highlighting areas for improvement in equipment, work procedures, worker training, and worksite conditions. The primary role of our loss prevention program is to detect and address unsafe acts or conditions to prevent incidents. Management is committed to maintaining a comprehensive program of safety inspections at all facilities and job sites. The primary purpose of the Incident Investigations Policy is to identify the direct and indirect causes of incidents and to prevent their occurrence and to measure the effectiveness of the health and safety management system. This policy mandates the investigation of all incidents and near misses. An incident is defined as any reportable accident that results in injury, illness, property damage, environmental impact, or theft. Near misses are incidents that could have resulted in damage or injury but did not. Responsibilities: employees and subcontractors immediately report any incidents or near misses. Supervisors conduct initial investigations and submit more reports to the HSE manager. HSE manager review reports, recommend corrective actions, and ensure their implementation. Dangerous occurrences. Dangerous occurrences such as structural failures, electrical contacts, and uncontrolled spills must be reported immediately to the appropriate authorities. Serious accidents. Serious accidents which cause death or require hospital admission for 72 hours or more necessitate a detailed report to the occupational health and safety authorities. Prohibition regarding the scene of an accident. In the event of a fatal accident, the scene should not be disturbed unless authorized by authorities to preserve evidence for a thorough investigation. This ensures that all relevant information is available for the investigation to prevent future incidents.
Recon ensures all job sites have tailored emergency plans based on specific hazards. Each site must provide first aid, transportation if needed, contact with outside agencies, and an initial response plan. Site supervisors develop emergency procedures and ensure all emergency information is available. During employee orientations, workers are informed about site-specific emergency details, as each job site or location may have different procedures, equipment, and escape routes to consider. Injuries are handled promptly with reporting and documentation, ensuring incidents are recorded, evaluated, and addressed appropriately. Recon inspection will ensure all job sites have emergency plans tailored to identified hazards. Each site will provide first aid for injured workers, transportation to a medical facility if necessary, contact methods for outside assistance, and initial response procedures. Site supervisors are responsible for developing emergency procedures covering the emergency preparedness plan, location of emergency equipment such as first aid supplies or fire extinguishers, communication devices and contact numbers for outside assistance, location of MSDS or SDS, escape routes and muster points, and emergency phone numbers.
Recon inspection will ensure applicable OH&S legislation is followed in each province for first aid requirements. This process will be determined during the formal hazard assessment review. First aiders must be at least 18 years old, have successfully completed a first aid training course, and have a valid first aid certificate. First aid incident procedure. Upon witnessing or being notified of an injury, the incident must be reported immediately to a supervisor. Only qualified first aiders are to administer first aid. Once first aid has been administered, a written report must be completed and submitted with pertinent information including injured employee full name, qualified first aider name, first aid administered, description of incident, etc. Corrective actions developed as required based off findings of the incident. This process will be monitored by the supervisor to ensure effectiveness. The Workplace Violence and Harassment Policy at Recon is designed to create a safe and respectful work environment for all employees. It outlines the company's commitment to preventing workplace violence and harassment, establishes clear procedures for reporting and addressing incidents, and emphasizes the importance of management support and employee participation in fostering a positive safety culture. The policy aims to protect the well-being of all individuals within the workplace by defining unacceptable behaviors, ensuring effective communication of procedures,
and promoting prompt and thorough investigations of reported incidents. Recognizing workplace violence. Types of workplace violence include abuse or assault, threatening behavior, intimidation, verbal abuse, or physical attacks. Managers and supervisors must distribute and enforce the workplace violence and harassment policy, investigate incidents and take corrective actions, and implement control measures and maintain positive safety culture. Communication of policy. New employees must be informed of the policy during orientation, and there must be an annual refresher training for current employees and subcontractors. Violence prevention is a crucial aspect of maintaining a safe workplace, and it begins with a strong management commitment. To ensure continuous improvement, the Workplace Violence Program and policy will undergo an annual revision. Employees are encouraged to report all incidents of violence or harassment without fear of retaliation. In the event of an incident, employees should report it immediately to their supervisors and submit a written report detailing the circumstances. Supervisors will conduct investigations confidentially to protect the integrity of the process. Following any incident, support will be provided for affected employees. Additionally, the policy will be reviewed annually or immediately following any incidents to ensure its effectiveness and relevance.
The most important component of an effective workplace violence program is management's commitment. Recon inspection will take the necessary preventative measures to provide a violence-free workplace for its employees. By development of workplace violence program and policy, monitor and conduct annual revision. Training and communication on the workplace violence program and policy, encouraging workers to report all incidents of workplace violence and harassment, and workplace violence will be included within completed hazard assessments with mitigating controls.
The substance abuse policy at Recon inspection is designed to ensure the health and safety of our workforce by maintaining a drug and alcohol-free work environment. This policy prohibits all employees and individuals on company premises from reporting to work under the influence of alcohol, drugs, including prescription and over-the-counter medications, or any substance that could impair their ability to work safely. Employees are encouraged to seek help voluntarily if they believe they may need assistance with substance-related issues, and doing so will not result in disciplinary action unless there is a non-compliance with the policy or involvement in an incident. All employees are expected to be aware of and comply with this policy, which applies to all subcontractors and third parties on company property. It is imperative that employees report any use of prescription medications that may impair job performance and provide medical documentation when required. Failure to adhere to the policy may result in disciplinary action, up to and including dismissal. For detailed guidelines and specific procedures related to the substance abuse policy, please refer to the official policy document.
Substance abuse roles and responsibilities for the worker. Have an understanding of the substance abuse policy. Take responsibility to ensure their own safety and the safety of others. Comply with the work standards as part of their obligation to perform work activities in a safe manner. Encourage peers or coworkers to seek help where there is a potential breach or breach of policy. Use medication responsibly, be aware of potential side effects, and notify their supervisor of any potential unsafe side effects where applicable. Comply with work rules and follow appropriate treatment. Smoking is only permitted in designated smoking areas. Wash hands and face prior to smoking or eating to prevent cross-contamination. Know the location of the nearest fire extinguisher. Ensure that extinguishers are properly maintained. Ensure that all personnel are familiar with escape routes to be used in an emergency and know how to contact emergency services. Recon Inspections Return to Work program is designated to support employees who have been injured or ill, whether due to occupational or non-occupational causes. The program ensures a smooth transition back to work by actively managing each case, maintaining open communication with all involved parties, and offering modified duties to match the employee's current capabilities. We are dedicated to fostering a safe workplace and aim to minimize disruptions and financial impacts by allowing employees to return to work in a safe and timely manner. This approach helps in their recovery while keeping their careers on track and reducing the burden on their colleagues. The program's effectiveness includes decreasing the costs associated with injuries, improving recovery outcomes, and boosting employee morale. We emphasize the importance of accommodating employees who cannot return to their regular duties due to an injury or illness, either through modified work or alternative tasks that align with their functional abilities. Everyone in the organization, managers, supervisors, employees, and healthcare professionals, plays a crucial role in the success of this program. Personal information related to an employee's injury will be kept confidential, with disclosure only occurring as required by law or with the employee's consent.
As a Recon technician, you'll participate in toolbox meetings before each job and monthly safety meetings at least once a month. These meetings are crucial for promoting a safe work environment by encouraging open discussions about health and safety matters, addressing any unsafe practices, and ensuring everyone is familiar with the procedures relevant to their work. It's an opportunity for every employee to engage in our health and safety program actively. Supervisors will lead these meetings and records will be maintained for review. Additionally, you are expected to attend any safety meetings conducted by the prime contractor when working on their job sites. Your participation is essential to fostering a culture of safety and teamwork.
Job meeting rules. Toolbox meetings are to be initiated and led by the supervisor. While meetings are intended to be informal and short in duration, the supervisor shall record minutes of the meeting on a toolbox meeting form. If a decision or remedial action is required and within the authority of the supervisor, the action shall be taken or completed shall be noted in the action section of the form. The manager will respond to the issue and record it in the follow-up section. The company is required to hold toolbox meetings and/or safety meetings at least once a month. This does not exclude meetings to brief workers on specific job hazards peculiar to a specific operation. At Recon, we are committed to fostering a safe and healthy work environment through our OH&S committee. This involves active participation. We encourage the active involvement of all employees in preventing incidents and promoting health and safety. Compliance. We adhere to legal requirements and industry standards for safety committees, ensuring that both worker and management representatives are engaged. Training and resources. We provide the necessary training and resources for committee members to effectively perform their roles. Open communication. We support transparent reporting and prompt resolution of safety concerns to maintain a safe workplace. The OH&S committee connects workers and management to improve safety at work. It includes both worker-elected and management representatives, with workers always having equal or greater representation. The committee meets quarterly to discuss safety issues, investigate incidents, and address unsafe conditions. Its key tasks are to inspect the workplace, recommend fixes for safety problems, and keep records of meetings and reports. Workers should report safety concerns to their supervisor, who will then take action and update the committee.
Lockout-tagout is a vital safety procedure designed to protect workers from the unexpected release of hazardous energy while they are servicing or maintaining equipment. Lockout-tagout ensures that all energy sources, including electrical, mechanical, hydraulic, and pneumatic systems, are effectively isolated and secured in a safe state before any work begins. Key components. Lockout. This involves physically isolating energy sources using lockout devices, which can include padlocks, disconnect switches, or circuit breakers. This action prevents the equipment from being accidentally energized during maintenance or repair activities. Tagout. In conjunction with the lockout process, tagging provides a visual warning to employees that the equipment is not to be operated. Tags must be clearly indicated for the reason of the lockout, the person responsible, and the time of application. The lockout-tagout procedure is critical for ensuring the safety of everyone involved in maintenance activities, and it helps prevent accidents that could lead to serious injuries or fatalities. Always remember that only the authorized individual who placed the lock and tag can remove them, emphasizing the importance of personal responsibility in maintaining a safe working environment. Confined spaces are areas that are not primarily designed for human occupancy, but may require workers to enter them for maintenance, repair, or other work-related activities. According to Saskatchewan OH&S legislation, a confined space has restricted means of entrance and exit, and it can present various hazards to workers due to its design, construction, atmosphere, materials, or activities taking place within. Examples of confined spaces include, but are not limited to, tanks, silos, sewers, exhaust ducts, and trenches. It's crucial to understand that you are considered to have entered a confined space as soon as your mouth breaks the plane of its opening. All workers must possess a valid confined space ticket and will receive specialized confined space training to ensure they can recognize and manage the potential risks involved. This training, combined with their certifications, prepares them to work safely in these environments. Safety is our priority, and we must always be aware of the risks associated with confined spaces to ensure a safe working environment for everyone.
IRATA establishes international standards for safe rope access work, focusing on creating a framework that ensures both efficiency and safety when accessing difficult or hazardous areas. By setting these rigorous standards, IRATA aims to enhance operational effectiveness while minimizing risks, thereby facilitating secure and reliable access in challenging environments. In addition to IRATA guidelines, The Recon Rope Access Operations Procedures Manual provides detailed procedural insights, helping teams ensure safety and compliance in specific operations. It serves as a complementary guide that aligns with the IRADA process for detailing job planning, risk assessments, and procedural adherence. Safety first, core of all IRADA standards. Safety is the fundamental principle guiding all IRADA standards. Every procedure and requirement is designed to prioritize the safety of rope access operators, ensuring that risks are minimized through strict safety protocols and regular equipment checks. Teamwork, roles and responsibilities for each member. Effective teamwork is essential in rope access. IRADA standards define specific roles, such as rope access technicians, team leaders, and supervisors, each with clear responsibilities to ensure smooth and safe operations. Training and certification, tiered system for skill and experience. IRADA uses a tiered training and certification system to match skill levels with job responsibilities. The levels represent increasing degrees of expertise from basic techniques to advanced supervisory skills, ensuring that personnel are qualified for their roles and prepared for progression. IRADA certification levels. Level 1, Rope Access Technician. Assists with rope system setup, performs basic rope access tasks, follows safety procedures, and works under supervision. Level 2, Lead Technician. Supervises Level 1 technicians, executes advanced rope access maneuvers, conducts complex rescues, ensures rope system safety. Level 3, Supervisor. Manages the rope access team, plans and oversees job operations, conducts detailed risk assessments, and ensures compliance with safety protocols. Effective communication and team awareness are crucial for safe rope access operations. Use direct voice, radios, or hand signals to ensure clear communication and confirm these methods before beginning work. Maintain high team awareness by monitoring each other's safety and communicating immediately in emergencies. Technicians should use radios or hand signals to stay connected and address any issues promptly. Rescue preparedness. Before commencing any rope access work, it is essential to have a comprehensive rescue plan in place. This plan should outline specific procedures and protocols to follow in case of an emergency. All team members must be thoroughly familiar with their respective rescue roles and responsibilities to ensure a swift and coordinated response. Regular drills and training sessions should be conducted to keep everyone prepared for potential emergency situations, ensuring that all team members know how to operate rescue equipment and execute the plan effectively. The Recon Rope Access Operations Procedures Manual also provides extensive guidelines on rescue procedures and site-specific rescue plans in Section 18. IRADA Code of Conduct. Adhering to the IRADA Code of Conduct is vital for maintaining high standards of professionalism within rope access procedures. This includes demonstrating discipline and focus at all times. Technicians are expected to perform their duties with the utmost commitment to safety and quality, avoiding distractions and following established procedures precisely. Professionalism also encompasses respectful interaction with team members, adherence to safety regulations, and a dedication to continuous improvement in both skills and operational practices. IRADA discouraged behaviors. Show-off behavior, taking unnecessary risks for attention. Poor communication, failing to coordinate and inform the team. Complacency, becoming careless during routine tasks. Ignoring safety protocols, skipping safety checks or inspections. Overconfidence, underestimating risks and overestimating abilities. Rushing tasks, prioritizing speed over safety, leading to mistakes. Both IRADA and the Recon Rope Access Operations Procedures Manual strongly discourage any unsafe maneuvers or showboating to ensure the safety of all technicians. At Recon, we prioritize the safety of our workers, especially those who may be required to work at heights. Understanding fall protection is crucial for maintaining a safe work environment. Fall protection involves various systems and practices designed to prevent workers from falling and to protect them if a fall does occur. Key definitions: travel restraint system, a personal fall protection system that prevents workers from reaching an edge or position where they may fall. Personal fall arrest system, a system that allows worker to fall but stops the fall before they contact the ground or any obstruction. Control zone, an area within 2 meters of an unguarded edge of an elevated work surface. Anchor point, a secure point to which fall protection equipment can be attached. According to the OH&S code, fall protection is required when workers could fall 1.2 meters or more, workers may fall less than 1.2 meters if there's a risk of injury, there is a risk of falling into or onto a hazardous substance or object. To ensure safety, Recon will implement a fall protection plan based on a hierarchy of controls, including the use of guardrails, travel restraint systems,
personal fall arrest systems, and other protective measures. The ultimate goal is to eliminate hazards whenever possible. All employees working at heights must possess valid fall protection training and certification. This training is essential to assure that workers understand how to use fall protection equipment correctly and are aware of the associated risks. By fostering a culture of safety and providing the necessary training and equipment, Recon aims to protect workers from falls and ensure that everyone can perform their tasks safely and effectively.
Ladder safety. Inspect ladders prior to use. If using a step ladder, ensure that it is fully open and on level ground before starting to climb. Never stand on the top 2 rungs of a ladder. Never reach to the side of a ladder. Instead, climb down and move the ladder. What should you do prior to using a portable ladder? Inspect the ladder before and after each use. Reject and tag any ladders that have defects. Have faulty ladders repaired or thrown out. Use a ladder designed for your task. Consider the strength, types, length, and the Canadian Standards Association approval. Get help when handling a heavy or long ladder. Keep ladders away from electrical wires. Tie off ladders at the top and secure bottom to prevent them from slipping. Set up barricades and warning signs when using a ladder in a doorway or passageway. Before mounting a ladder, clean the boot soles if they are muddy or slippery. Avoid climbing with wet soles. Ensure footwear is in good condition. Face the ladder when going up or down and when working from it. Keep the center of your body within the side rails. Follow 4:1 ratio for setting up ladder on even ground. Refer to safety regulations for specific measurement requirements.
At Recon inspections, safe operation of company vehicles is essential. All employees driving company vehicles must hold a valid driver's license suitable for the vehicle type and adhere to defensive driving principles, applicable laws, and client-specific rules. We encourage employees to practice safe driving techniques in both work and personal contexts.
At Recon inspections, we're committed to exceeding safety standards for powered, mobile, and heavy equipment. Competent operators must have thorough training and supervision to handle equipment safely. Supervisors ensure equipment is well maintained, daily inspections are conducted, and clear communication is maintained. It's crucial for employees to follow safe protocols and report any issues. Operators are required to be trained, familiar with equipment, and authorized to use it. Effective communication includes hand signals, warning devices, is key to preventing accidents. Training is essential and must be documented, with records readily available. WHMIS is short form for Workplace Hazardous Information System. It is a comprehensive plan for providing information on the safe use of hazardous materials used in Canadian workplaces. Information is provided by means of product labels.
Key WHMIS principles. Clearly label all WHMIS-controlled substances, including cleaners and lubricants, with supplier or workplace labels. An MSDS or SDS must be accessible to all personnel handling these substances. If an SDS is not available, contact the manufacturer for one. All employees must be formally trained in WHMIS and participate in pre-job meetings. Return surplus hazardous materials to storage. If not needed, label and contain them properly. For disposal, follow SDS guidelines and clean all chemical residue off PPE and equipment. Report spills according to the SDS procedures. Ensuring the safe handling of flammable materials and controlled substances is crucial for maintaining a secure workplace. The following guidelines outline essential practices for safety compliance. Review SDS for storage instructions and keep materials away from heat sources. Store in a flame-resistant cabinet and ensure proper fire extinguishers are readily available. Always use the correct PPE when handling flammable materials.
Hazardous Material Response Plan. Emergency Response Plan developed in case of emergency. Collect all the safety equipment required to safely perform the task. Comply with safe work precautions identified during the safety pre-job planning process. Be aware of the surroundings as conditions may change which may adversely affect the job. Should the change in condition warrant it, step back and hold a tailgate meeting to discuss the change in the job conditions. If required, implement the emergency response plan.
At Recon inspection, environmental protection is integral for our operations. Our environmental policy aims to minimize public health hazards, protect the environment from construction-related impacts, comply with all regulations and standards, assess environmental risks and monitor performance, and foster environmental awareness through collaboration with industry, government, and workers. For projects involving environmental contaminants, we commit to educating personnel on environmental responsibilities, maintaining effective reporting and communication systems, and developing project-specific environmental action plans in line with regulatory and client requirements. Note, this policy supports but does not override applicable government legislation that all employees should be familiar with.
Recon supports environmental awareness by encouraging recycling and proper waste management in all its work activities and business practices. It is as simple as placing a piece of cardboard, used paper, or empty plastic container in the recycling box, which is the first step in reducing demand on our planet's limited resources. The overall success of this policy depends on the active participation of Recon and its employees. Everyone within the company is encouraged to take the proper steps and be committed to recycling and to be part of this solution. Recon encourages reducing and, when possible, eliminating the use of disposable products. Source reduction decreases the consumption of valuable resources through various practices including minimizing packaging. If used, products continue to be in good condition, continue using until these show signs of needing replacement. Turning lights off when not in use. Using an electronic means of communication as opposed to using printouts for communicating with individuals. At Recon Inspections, we are dedicated to managing soil erosion and sediment control throughout our construction processes. Our soil erosion and sediment control plan focuses on preventing erosion, controlling sediment at the source, and reducing sediment transport from construction sites. We implement stringent inspections, maintenance, and reporting using both traditional and innovative techniques to enhance ESC effectiveness. Construction often disrupts vegetation, leading to increased soil erosion by rain, wind, and other forces. To address this, our ESC plan includes preventing stormwater pollution, complying with municipal and federal regulations, and mitigating airborne soil particulates. We utilize a multi-barrier approach that incorporates new technologies and ongoing maintenance to stabilize soils and prevent environmental impacts. Our plan requires regular inspections, training for all employees, and cooperation with subcontractors to ensure ESC measures are upheld. Compliance with local bylaws and permits is essential, and any deficiencies are promptly addressed to prevent harm to aquatic habitats and maintain air quality. Recon Inspections' environmental spill prevention and response procedure ensures that hazardous material incidents are managed effectively. It highlights the need for proper chemical storage, accessible spill kits, and thorough employee training on response protocols. The procedure emphasizes immediate action to protect the health of the environment, including accurate assessment of the incident and deployment of appropriate resources. Effective communication with both internal and external parties is essential for a successful response. Post-incident activities focus on cleanup, monitoring, and updating procedures based on lessons learned. Levels of environmental incidents. Level 1. Minor spills, manageable with on-site resources. Level 2. Significant spills requiring external report. Major spills, necessitating specialized cleanup and decontamination. At Recon Inspections, our intent is to thoroughly train and inform personnel about our ground disturbance policy to ensure safe and compliant operations. We focus on providing clear guidance on the procedures for securing necessary permits and conducting hazard assessments before any ground disturbance work begins. Our training emphasizes the importance of accurately locating and marking underground utilities to avoid damage and ensure safety. We are dedicated to communicating these safety measures effectively, so all involved are well prepared and aware of the protocols. By doing so, we aim to safeguard both the workforce and the environment while adhering to all regulatory standards. Important elements. Secure necessary permits and approvals before initiating ground disturbance. Conduct comprehensive hazard assessments to identify potential risks. Accurately locate and mark all underground utilities to prevent damage. Follow all regulatory and safety protocols to ensure compliance. Provide ongoing training and clear communication to maintain awareness and preparedness. In addition, it is crucial that utility and facility operators or their agents install a series of markers to indicate the presence of underground facilities. These markers should conform to the International Color Code for underground facilities. White proposed excavation. Pink, temporary survey markings. Red, electric power lines, cable conduit, light cables. Yellow, gas, oil, petroleum lines. Orange, telephone, cable, communication cables. Blue, potable water lines. Green, sewer lines, storm sewer lines. Purple, irrigation lines. By adhering to these color codes, we can effectively identify and manage various underground utilities, ensuring safety and preventing accidental damage during ground disturbance activities. Our behavior-based safety program aims to enhance our safety culture and minimize risks through proactive behavior management. By focusing on continuous education and observation, we build a partnership between management and employees to prevent incidents and near misses. BBS involves analyzing both safe and at-risk behaviors, promoting safe practices, and understanding the motivations behind behaviors. Recognizing factors like rushing, fatigue, and complacency is vital for maintaining safety. Managers focus on coaching, employees should be open to observations, and HSE managers handle support and data collection. Program highlights: a proactive approach, continuous education and observation, behavior analysis, identifying and addressing safe and at-risk behaviors, safety practices, emphasizing preventative measures, behavioral factors, recognizing rushing, fatigue, and complacency, shared responsibilities, managers, employees, and HSE managers.
Recon inspection acknowledges that fatigue significantly affects health and safety. Our fatigue management program helps employees identify and manage fatigue to ensure safe operations. This program is crucial for promoting well-being and maintaining a safe work environment. Fatigue management key responsibilities. Employer: ensure safe work practices and adequate resources for the fatigue management program. Design work shifts that allow for recovery and develop supportive policies. Supervisor: monitor workers and provide adequate time for tasks. Recognize and address fatigue symptoms promptly. Employee: arrive fit for duty and manage lifestyle choices to reduce fatigue. Report fatigue-related issues and never operate machinery while excessively fatigued.
The do's of hand tools. Always provide training on how to choose the right tool for the job, how to correctly use each tool, and how to identify when tools need repair. Select the right tool for the job. Substitutes increase the chance of having an accident. Use tools designed to allow wrists to stay straight. Avoid using hand tools with your wrist bent. Ensure that employees are properly trained in the safe use of hand tools. Use good quality tools. Always keep tools in good condition. Inspect tools for defects before use. Replace or repair defective tools. Keep cutting tools sharp and cover sharp edges with suitable covering to protect the tool and prevent injuries from unintended contact. Replace cracked, splintered, or broken handles on files, hammers, screwdrivers, or sledges. Ensure that the handles of tools like hammers and axes fit tightly into the head of that tool. Replace worn jaws on wrenches, pipe tools, and pliers, headless, bird, or mushroomed heads of striking tools. Pull on a wrench or pliers. Never push unless you hold the tool with your palm open. Point sharp tools, laying on benches, away from aisles, and handles should not extend over the edge of the bench top. Maintain tools carefully. Keep them clean and dry and store them properly after each use. Carry tools in a sturdy toolbox to and from the worksite. Wear safety glasses, goggles, or a face shield, and well-fitting gloves appropriate for the hazards to which you may be exposed when doing the task. Keep the work area and environment clean and tidy to avoid clutter which may cause accidents. Use a heavy belt or apron and hang tools at your sides, not behind your back. The don'ts of hand tools. Do not use tools for the job they are not intended to do. For example, do not use a slot screwdriver as a chisel, pry bar, wedge, or punch. The wrenches as hammers. Do not apply excessive force or pressure on tools. Do not cut towards yourself when using tools. Do not hold the stock in the palm of your hand when using a cutting tool or screwdriver. Do not wear bulky gloves to operate hand tools. Do not throw tools. Hand them, handle first, directly to other workers. Do not carry tools in a way that interferes with using both hands on a ladder while climbing on a structure or when doing any hazardous work. If working on a ladder or scaffold, tools should be raised and lowered using a bucket and hand line. Do not carry a sharp tool in your pocket.
Adhering to the electrical safety policy is essential for maintaining a safe work environment. Electrical hazards can lead to serious injuries or fatalities, even during routine tasks like changing a light bulb. This overview will highlight key safety practices, injury prevention strategies, and essential protocols for working safely with electricity and power lines. Injury awareness. Recognize the four main types of injuries: electrocution, electric shock, burns, and falls, which can occur through direct contact, arcing, or thermal burns. Safety practices. Inspect tools, cords, and electrical fittings for damage before use. Use non-conductive ladders and install ground fault circuit interrupters to prevent electrical shocks. Avoid overloading circuits and ensure exposed receptacle boxes are non-conductive. Working near power lines. Maintain a safe distance of at least 7 meters from energized overhead power lines. Notify the power authority about any work being done near power lines and follow the established safety procedures. Remember, safety is everyone's responsibility. Always be vigilant and report any electrical hazards or incidents immediately. The following is the safe limit of approach distance for persons and equipment working near or around power lines.
Recon inspection has this responsibility to minimize or eliminate risks associated with employees working alone. The supervisor will first conduct a hazard assessment to identify existing and/or potential hazards arising from the conditions and circumstances of the employee's scheduled work. Control measures will be developed and implemented accordingly following the hierarchy of controls, and will be included within the written hazard assessment. The definition of to work alone means to work alone at a work site or travel to a work site in circumstances where assistance is not readily available in the event of an injury, illness, or emergency. Recon inspection. The safety and well-being of all employees, including those in office environments, are a priority. Our health, safety, and environmental management system focuses on identifying and mitigating hazards, promoting safe work practices, and fostering a safety-first culture. Key office safety practices. Filing cabinets. Bolt together to prevent tipping. Open one drawer at a time. Paper cutters and shredders. Keep blades closed. Avoid loose clothing and tie back long hair. Electrical cords. Ensure cords are in good condition and not across walkways. Use of office equipment. Follow manufacturer guidelines. Tag and remove damaged equipment. Turn off devices when not in use. Preventing hazards. Flammable materials. Store properly away from heat sources. Fans. Use only with safety guards. Avoid tripping hazards with cords. Slips, trips, and falls. Keep walkways clear and use handrails on stairs. Emergency preparedness. Know fire extinguisher locations and emergency exits. Housekeeping. The offices are no place to store any equipment. Remember, when a customer or supplier visits and sees a tidy, clean office environment, this reflects how we conduct ourselves in the workplace. For further information, see the appropriate current occupational health and safety legislation. Housekeeping practices. Keep the area clean and free of oil, grease, and mud. Keep the area free of any tripping hazards such as unnecessary tools, equipment, scrap metal, and other debris. Clean up spills promptly with proper absorbing agents and materials. Report immediately. Replace all oily rag and garbage in their appropriate containers until disposal is possible. Store equipment in its proper place inside the shop. Make use of shelves and tag if necessary. The floor is not where equipment is kept. Watch for hazards such as nails, protruding scrap metal, grease, and oil. Do not run around or participate in horseplay. Keep exterior walkways and stairways free of snow, ice, and obstacles. Place all garbage and waste materials in appropriate containers. Keep interior hallways, stairwells, and other traffic areas clear. Often work will commence in remote areas with little or no services. Therefore, the following practices and methods of conduct are in place. Each employee is responsible for their own water drink requirements. Reduce level of physical activity required where possible. Where possible, change the location of the work to a warmer or cooler work area. Establish a designated warming, cooling area such as a lunchroom, office trailer, etc. Adjust the pace of work. Shorten the duration of work. Increase the number of and/or length of rest breaks. Substitute light tasks for heavy ones. Increase the number of staff so that more workers share the workload. Allow time for acclimatization. Employees are responsible for their own food. Schedule physically demanding jobs for warmer or cooler periods of the day. Hats are recommended to prevent heat exposure. Sunscreen is recommended to prevent sunburn. Employees are responsible to stop work if they feel unsteady or unable to continue to work in a safe manner. This must be reported immediately to a manager or first aid trained personnel. Recon Inspection is committed to protecting its employees in all ways, including ensuring ergonomics in the workplace. By designing workstations, tools, and tasks to fit workers' physical capabilities and limitations, we aim to prevent strain injuries, reduce fatigue, and enhance productivity. Our approach includes adjusting chair heights, using ergonomic tools, and encouraging regular breaks to minimize repetitive stress. Proper lifting techniques, such as bending at the knees, keeping the back straight, and using the legs, are essential for back injury prevention. We also utilize mechanical aids like dollies and forklifts to reduce injury risks. A key benefit enhances worker well-being and workplace efficiency while reducing injury risks and associated costs. Lower back injury is the most likely kind of injury when lifting objects at work, such as boxes, tools, equipment, etc. Completely eliminating risk related to lifting is not probable. However, the risk can be reduced to the point that the worker will not suffer an injury as a result of the lift. To prevent back injuries, it is important to identify the factors of manual material handling that make the worker more susceptible to injury or that directly contribute to the injury. Eliminating manual material handling. Consider using powered or mechanical handling systems if eliminating the MMH tasks completely is not possible. Mechanical aids lower the risk for back injury by reducing the worker's physical effort required to handle heavy objects. Safe lifting. Get good footing. Bend your knees, get a good grip on the object to be lifted. Look up. Keep your back straight. Lift with your legs, keeping the object being lifted as close to your body as possible. To put the object back down again, do not bend at the waist. Keep the back straight and bend the knees, keeping the object close to the body until it is placed in a secure place. Employees of Recon Inspection must not enter areas with known or suspected H2S presence unless accompanied by another person equipped with appropriate PPE. This person serves as a safety watch or backup to call for help in emergencies. Properties of H2S are that it is colorless, has a rotten egg smell, it's heavier than air, explosive, burns with a blue flame because of the production of SO2, and is soluble in liquids. The occupational exposure limits for H2S are 10 parts per million for a maximum 8-hour workday, 15 parts per million has a short-term exposure limit of 15 minutes, and at 20 parts per million, that is your ceiling exposure limit, and there is no exposure allowed at that point. Initial response to H2S release. Emergency actions. Evacuate. Get out of the area immediately. Alert. Sound the alarm or call for help. Equip. Wear breathing apparatus. Rescue. Assist any victims. Revive. Administer first aid and revive victims. Medical aid. Seek immediate medical assistance.
Biological hazards, or biohazards, refer to the substances that pose a threat to human health, including microorganisms, viruses, and toxins. The CDC categorizes biohazards into 4 levels based on risk. Level 1, minimal risk, example, Bacillus subtilis, E. coli. Precautions include gloves and facial protection. Level 2, moderate risk with mild diseases, for example, hepatitis A and HIV, requires gloves and basic protective measures. Level 3, severe diseases with available treatments, for example, anthrax and COVID-19. Enhanced PPE is necessary. Level 4, extreme risk with no available treatments, for example, Ebola or Marburg virus. Strict containment and specialized PPE is required.
Employees should maintain good personal hygiene through personal cleanliness. This can be accomplished by showering or bathing regularly, examining their body for cuts, sores, and bandaging appropriately, wearing clean, laundered clothes to work, using deodorant, antiperspirant to minimize body odors, keeping their mustache, sideburns, or beard shaved or trimmed, keeping their hair groomed or having long hair restrained in a ponytail or braid, keeping their nails clean and trimmed. Progressive discipline is a process for dealing with work-related behavior that does not meet expected or communicated performance standards at Recon inspection. The primary purpose for progressive discipline is to assist the employee to understand that a performance problem or opportunity for improvement exists. Recon inspection will follow a pattern of progressive discipline consisting of 4 steps. 1. Verbal warning. 2. Written warning. 3. Suspension. And 4. Termination. Verbal warnings are designed for employees and their immediate supervisor to discuss a performance standard that is not being met, the reason for its occurrence, and explore possible solutions together. Written warnings provide a summary of the incident, a review of any previous verbal warnings, an action plan, and timelines for expected improvement. A written warning also outlines in detail the next steps of the progressive discipline process and should improvement not be demonstrated. Suspension will be admitted without pay, ranging from 1 to 5 days depending on the severity of the infraction. Termination for cause will be processed upon the progressive discipline policy being duly administered. The right to refuse unsafe work, imminent danger, is a fundamental right and obligation of workers in all Canadian jurisdictions, granted through respective provincial and territorial OH&S Acts. Right to refuse legislation imposes duties on employees and employers for the reporting, investigation, and resolution of imminent danger situations.
Refusal of unsafe work policy, key responsibilities for employees. Employees are responsible to refuse work that presents an imminent danger, report the refusal to the supervisor, and cooperate in the investigation. Key responsibilities for management include ensuring no other workers are assigned to the refused task, investigate the situation and take appropriate actions, prepare a written record of the investigation, and provide the investigation outcome to the workers who initiated the refusal. Legislation outlines specific processes for both employers and employees to follow in imminent danger situations. No set of rules or safe work practices could cover all situations that arise. In such cases, the supervisor or employee must rely on their own experience or trade knowledge and be prepared to justify their actions. Where any of these safety regulations differ from or are in conflict with any other regulations, then the most stringent regulations should take place. The safety information in this policy does not take precedence over applicable government legislation, with which all employees should be familiar.
Please review all relevant company procedures and documents if you have any questions. An informed employee makes better choices. Stay informed and communicate with your team. Complete the attached examination with a 100% score to conclude this training.